Hi guys, so today I want to share with you a new collection that Spellbinders has launched. It is the Lisa Horton Wildflower collection. And just some really pretty items. There are quite a few items in this collection, so I have a few here to share with you, including the sentiments, the Better Press script plate. There are quite a few items. I do have the scallop and stitched edge ovals and dies, of course. And I believe this one's called Layered Gladiolus, and this is the Layered Wildflowers. Okay, so we're going to check those out today. So they did send these items free of charge from Raven. Of course, all opinions are my own, and the links I have in the description box will be affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission if you were to purchase items to those links. I do have them for Spellbinders in the US and the UK. So just a really beautiful collection. You know, Lisa Horton always makes really amazing designs and really fun things. Easy to work with, in my opinion, whenever I've seen, her different pieces. So we have this script plate. It's awesome. Again, a lot of times with these script type things, it doesn't really have like words that you can make out, but we will see, if I use this one today or not, because we do have a few pieces. I'll probably make a couple different tutorials, but it's just lovely. And let's see the sizing on this guy. It looks like it's, geared for A2 type thing. So yeah, it's like 5 3/4, a little bit larger than that, and just a little bit over 4.5 inches. So really nice. You're going to be able to fill up a whole A2 with that, or cut down some matte layers for 5x7. We have some sentiments. I guess I should focus on this first, but that's okay. We already pulled these out. So like I said, I do have samples. Yours will be mounted and layered on carriers like this. If it needs inspo or instruction, that will be there for you guys. But these are 2 different sentiment sets. They have Sending Smiles and Very Best Wishes. And I love that it has like the sending with the 3 different layers to it. So the word and then 2 matte layers, or 2 layers. And then the stamp that you're going to stamp one time and then cut out everything at once, which I love that kind of thing. These are photopolymer stamps. I can tell just by looking at it, but let me see if it says on here. I guess you're supposed to assume with Spellbinders they're always photopolymer, because it doesn't say that on here, but I know they are. So there you go. So tons. So you have sending, and then you have tons of love, birthday hugs, smiles, get well wishes, gentle hugs, congratulations, love and best wishes. And I think it's really cute because it's rounded, the edges. I don't know if you see that, instead of just being kind of squared off. Something a little bit different, a little softer. This one with the wishes, you have warm, happy birthday, love and best, anniversary, very best birthday wishes, sending good, and to you on your special day. So, of course, you're mixing and matching those, again, with the 3 layers on the wishes part. Look at that. Very cool. So, to you on your special day is one thing. And then we have our beautiful scallop. I love this kind of thing, guys. This is just... whenever there's a layering set or something, you gotta grab it. At least I do. So I just love this kind of thing. So yeah. Let's see. Metal to metal, it's just over 5 inches. And I'm talking about the metal cutting edge, or the metal sides, so you know that this will fit in your machine. And just a hair over 4 inches in the other direction, okay? So the layer it actually cuts is just about 4 3/4. And by, I would say, 3 3/4 or so. And then you have layers from inside that. So, if you layer this together, you're going to have a very thin frame, but I would say just over 1/4 inch, but you can definitely do that. Or you have this matte layer, then this matte layer with the little etching, it is etching, but it's like stitching. And then you have this matte layer that's, again, plain, and then you have another stitch matte layer, and then another plain layer, and then you have this cute bow, which I think is really adorable. Addition to that kind of thing, right? The bow with a little center dot. The gladiolus here, you're going to have, the stem, and then you have like buds. So hopefully you can see this and this together go up in these portions here. The way gladiolus looks, the way it has all these beautiful... I have some in my garden, and, they come up, they're only there for however long, and then they come back the next year, but they're so pretty. So, it starts blooming really well kind of down here, and then the last ones to bloom are the very top ones. So you have your little buds for the top, lots of, leaves, the flowers themselves with different layers, so it's just really well done, I think, with the accent pieces. So, if we work with that today or the next one, we'll get to that. The layering wildflowers. What happens here with this one is that there are a few different kinds of flowers in this one, where this one's focused on the gladiolus, which is gorgeous. This other one has some different things. So you have, I try to put it together in a way that makes sense, like this belongs to this and that, you know. So you have this flower. It's kind of cone flower, you know, ish or however. That's the flower itself, and this is the centerpiece of the flower with a little bit of accent on it, so you can imagine that goes there, right? And then we have this guy that's kind of maybe poppy-ish, you know, kind of a thing. So you have these two layers. You have this little circle that goes in the middle of these two guys, okay? So to make it look just with extra added center, so the little detail for that. This last one down here, I don't really know what this would be called. It's just kind of a fuzzy, fluffy kind of flower, interesting. So this is the background layer. This is the one that would go in front, right? The petal. And then this guy goes under that to make like the base of that flower. So you have this circle that, you know, or oval, should I say. And then you have this detail that goes on top of that. And then these bits go on top of that. So I hope that makes sense in case we get to that, we don't get to that, you know, you have an idea on that one. Because again, I never know what I'm going to do when I start a tutorial. And then stems in different lengths and, you know, shapes, the way they're rounded here. You have your leaves and some more leaves that are really sweet. And of course you can mix and match those however you want with those flowers. So really, really cute set or collection. I'm super looking forward to trying this guy out. And so what I'm going to do is grab some, you know, card base, cardstock, all that good stuff, you know, try to some layering, you know, whatever I don't get to, I'll get to in the next video. So I'll be right back. Okay guys, I have an idea for my card base, but I don't quite know what I'm going to top it with quite yet, as far as the flowers. But I do have this Hello It's Me paper pack, and I thought this would be really lovely with what's going on here. So I'm going to make a card base. Oh, and I want to make like a gatefold card base because we haven't done fun folds in a while. So A2 size, so 11-inch paper, you know, cut it 5.5. Sorry, 8.5 in the other direction. And so I'm going to score this basically to make a gatefold. So what you want to do is split the difference of what you normally would do with the 4 1/4 in the front, but you're going to do it on either side. So it's 2 1/8. So at 2 inches plus 1/8, we'll do a score line. And then another score line at 2 1/8 on the other side. Oh, my lighting got really orange all of a sudden. That's weird. Okay. It looks like it cleared up, but that was odd. Okay. So we're just doing a gatefold card, so these are both going to go in like this, and they should meet up, but we're going to also force it to meet up more correctly if, you know, obviously some of these measurements are kind of eyeballing, so it's possible that it's a little bit this way or a little bit that way. Let me move this over here. I'm going to hold this down. So as I score it, it'll score more of where I want it to be. And there's that, so gatefold card. And then I want to top that with some pretty paper. I'm going to, obviously for a gatefold, if you do anything on top of this, you're going to stick it to one side of the card, so when you open it, you can open it. It's not just like stuck down, right? So I'm going to use this pretty paper. I thought this would be really nice for the background. And you're still going to see it even if, you know, when you go to open it up. So we're going to cover quite a bit of it, and I don't like covering things up, but it'll be okay. So this always makes my brain hurt for some reason when I do a gatefold and I want to split the difference. Okay, so we're going to do 5 3/8 tall because that's the kind of matte layer I like. So I'll say 5 3/8. And I guess I'm just going to cut these to how I want. So we need to take an 1/8 inch off of this side, and then on the other one the same thing. So this is already 5 3/8. And each little flap is 2 1/8. And we only want to take 1/8 off. I hope that makes sense. Wait, is that right? Yes. And see, this is the part I always get mixed up. I'm like, is it a 16th? No, it should be 1/8. Because if we're here and here, we want... Okay, so let's say 2 inches and see what that looks like. And if not, you know, I'll correct it. But I always get that part mixed up in my head because you really just want it to matte layer. Yeah, so we're just taking the 1/8 of an inch off. Okay. So I need another one that's 2 inches on the other side. And there we go. It's because the way I did it, I didn't really have to do with the math. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so we're going to stick those on either side. And that's going to look really pretty. And then it's because I don't want to leave this white in the center. If you do want white on this very edge here, you're going to want to take off you know, not just the 1/8 that we took off. You're going to take off a 1/4 inch because you want it to show here. But I'm going to do it this way. I just want it to be around the edges. And again, maybe my numbers aren't exactly right, but that looks fine. I think it should have been a 16th. So sometimes I always get that part wrong. I don't know why. In my head, I can't make it make sense, and that's not like me, but for some reason with a gatefold, every time. But okay, I'm going to take this. I'm just going to do the white cardstock, I think. Even black would be really nice pop of color, whatever it is you want. I do have some black paper right here. And you know, I like to go along as I like make things up as I go. Yeah, let's do black. That'll be a little more stark. And then I do want a matte layer on that too. And so let me think. I want to get a matte layer from this. I do want to bring in maybe more of the pink. Oh, let's do this one. Okay, so black on that one, pink on this one. We'll get that going and then we'll do some flowers. Okay guys, as I was sitting here contemplating what I did, let's talk about this again in case you do want it to be exactly the same, because I do have a little bit wider here. So we did 5 3/8. That means that last 1/8 is split between the top and the bottom. So this is a 1/16 edge. So if you want this to be a 1/16 edge, I should have cut it at 2 1/16. Okay. So there you go. Now that I think about it, I gotta put my mind to it a little bit more. And I just kind of move on and I don't think about it again. So that's why I haven't put a lot of thought into that. But okay. I'm also thinking, that's cute. If I want to do my wildflowers, let me see. Maybe what we'll do today is a gladiolus, because it does have a lot going on, and then it could, yeah, it could be like right here from top to bottom. Okay, because I was thinking if I want to do the wildflowers and I wanted to, I would know where the stems are going to be and then cut the stems, you know, so that they fit in here. But I think if I pop this guy on here, or even if it's out a little bit, that'll be fine. So I'm going to go ahead and glue these things down. I was going to leave it not glued quite yet, so that I would trim the base of my wildflower stems, but that's all right. Okay, so let's get this guy and this guy, and bring these guys over. So I guess if I wanted to split the difference, I can put this in the center of the panel, but I don't want to put it in the center of the panel. I want it to be really justified to the very edge here. So I'm just going to pay attention here and be careful, because this glue wants to hold real quick as soon as you pop it down. There we go. Again, leaving a little more white here than top and the bottom, and that's okay. I'm not gonna let that drive me nuts. Nope, nope, nope. Okay. And then this guy also, I want it right at the center, but also making sure it's about the same. There we go. These kind of cards I also like doing belly bands for, to keep it closed, because when you put this on here, it's still going to want to pop open, obviously, like this. But, you know, obviously you're going to send it off. It'll be fine. That looks really cute. I love that. So the reason this doesn't hurt my heart is because when I go to open this, you're still going to see a lot of that pretty paper anyway. Okay. So we are missing a little portion of it. I will say I'm going to eyeball this so that I put the glue down. It's going to hold this. And just in about the right position there, because we only want to put it on the left hand side. That looks perfect, at least where I want it. Maybe a little bit higher up, and maybe a little more this way. Okay, so again, I only put the glue on the left hand side so that it can open, right? Cute. We do more fun fold cards. I've been kind of leaving that behind, making just straightforward cards, but we should do something more fun. Okay, let me think about the colors that I want to use for my gladiolus, and I will grab those pieces and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so I grabbed a few different shades of pink, because we have the pink, and actually it's more of a coral, but that's okay. And some greens, because we have our main stem. let me think. I think the main stem I'm going to cut from this green along with the leaves, but you know, you can play with that a little bit. I'm just going to have them all the same color, so I'm going to run those through, okay? So the leaf dies and this guy. This is a little bit something to think about. I will say the carrier will definitely have some instruction for you guys, but I love when Spellbinders does what they do as far as on the product page. They'll have like little images that you can download. It's under the images. It's not like a download, like a PDF kind of thing. You can save it, and then it's basically walking you through how each thing should be layered together or however. So, like I said, we have these little buds. You know, I think what I'm going to do with that one is have this little shininess. I just picked out like greens. Oh, I have a dark green right here, actually. Hold on. I was looking for a dark green and I just found this scrap. Okay. I think for the stem, I'm going to do this dark green. And then we'll do something with these other guys. Just the lighter greens, the ones I showed you earlier. Just to have some different colors going. Okay. So for these guys, I would like this darker kind of sage color for that little bud piece. And then this one that's like the accent piece that goes over it will be this shiny green. Okay. And so that should take care of those things. Now the flowers are a little bit more, okay, like what are we looking at? So let me get this going and this off to the side here. And we are probably going to do the flowers, you know, some different bits at a time here. Those buds all cut out pretty much at once. But the flowers, some of the easier ones that you want to layer are like these two. Okay, let me get a little bit closer. So you can think about what it is that you want to do with that. I will say I'll do this darker color for this one. And then you're going to need a light, dark, and a medium color, okay, to make these work out. So I'm just trying to see what, or think in my mind, what is it that I want to do? Okay, dark, and then maybe this lightest one for that one. Then we have these pieces. This piece is like the center of some of these other guys, so we want to just keep an eye out for all these things. So this one here and this one here make one of our flowers, okay? Plus, I'll move this over here. This guy and this piece is one of the flowers. And I think one of these centers, see these little centers? If you want to run those through like white paper, yellow paper, whatever it is, they're basically the flower centers, like these little like pistil or stamen type things. Part of this die, this piece right here, this top piece, goes to this flower. So this flower is kind of like this, the way they layer up. And I will say this is like the base layer on this one, this background, like the darkest color. And maybe this can be your medium color. Okay, because it does need to have a little accent of the light color just so it contrasts nicely. I know, it's okay. So let's focus on some of this stuff. Let me put this out. So we have that one flower done. This one, again, this darkest piece should be your darker color, so I'll put that there. This one also should have either the darkest colors or two of the same, however you want to do these guys. Okay, so let's just say that that could be my lightest color on both of those. This guy that goes in the middle of that flower should be darker so it can just look really nice. And then it has an accent of this medium color. Now I'm going to use the medium color in this one, but I also need this top one to be the lightest color for one of the other flowers, okay? So we're going to run that one through twice. And then this guy right here can be, you know, either your lightest color, your medium color, whatever it is that you want to do. So I'll probably run it through the lightest, so that way we have all those. We'll play with those centers in just a minute. I just kind of want you to see these flowers. Like I said, you will have a download and you will have your inspo, you know, your instructions, so you don't have to worry about this too much. But this is kind of what it is like in real life when you go to do this, right? So you don't have to do them all at the same time like I am. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, as I always say, just run through as many as you would like so that you can kind of get the job done more quickly. I'm going to clear this out before I even try it because a lot of times it needs to be cleared out. Okay. So these guys, the little buds, quick, easy. You're just going to, put the accent color on top of your little base piece here. I'm going to get a lot closer. And so I'll do all these three in just a moment, but I just want to show you the first one. Okay. That's all it's going to be for that one. Okay, so I'll do the other two. Okay, so we have those three. With these guys, I'm going to go ahead and pop everything out. I'm going to set them up in a way so that you can see clearly the shapes and what it looks like for this one, that kind of thing. And I'll be right back, okay? So I'll be right back. Okay, guys, so this is kind of how the flowers are made. So I want to show you. That one little accent die, this one has two different pieces. Again, you can make them the same color. You don't have to, it's whatever you want. But this one has the little smallest piece. So this one I cut out of the very lightest color. This one I cut out of the medium color. And then the centers I just did in white so we can see them a little easier. So this, again, right here is the easiest flower. You're just going to layer these two things. There's no accent or anything else, but if you want to, I suppose you can do that. Like some of these other pieces. Put something else in the center. So those two, easy. Right, there you go. And it's not this other one's difficult or anything like that. It's just different. So we're going to have these pieces. And I'm just going to layer this one on top of that guy. And actually I put aside the wrong piece. Good thing I didn't throw it away. It's right here. I meant to use this medium color piece instead of the lightest pink one. Sorry, guys. Let's get rid of that one. I think, you just want something different. Actually, it was the lightest pink, but that's okay. We can just mess around with this. Again, I just cut out whatever I felt like. And you can definitely follow the instruction. I try to follow it as close as I could, but this one I should have made that pink. This guy, a medium color pink, and then this one the lightest pink. But that's all right. Okay. So you have that. And then it's going to have a little center. And again, I did my centers out of white. So there you go. Okay, just like a little stamen. That's that guy. Sorry if the colors aren't contrasting enough for you guys to really see what I'm doing here. But these guys, same thing. I'm just going to stack one of these up in here. So pretty. Again, those can be different colors. And then we're going to have this piece right in the middle. Very cool. And it should have a little accent. And this one I did a medium color accent. So I went lightest, darkest, medium accent. And then we have the little center. Okay, and you make as many of these flowers as you want. So for the buds, obviously on the, I haven't run this guy through, but on the stem, at the very top, it has an area for buds. So we have the 3 buds. And then what do you want to do with these flowers? So I'll make a couple more of this one, and then maybe more of this sideways one, because this one's basically facing forward. That's like our queen jewel, beautiful one right here. So maybe I'll make another one of these and a couple of these, and I'll be right back. Okay, guys, so I have a few of these guys, and I kind of mix them up a little bit with the ruffles that they had. This one's definitely going to be in the front. This guy is going to go like on top of these guys. Okay, so that's how that goes. It looks like it would go underneath, but it doesn't. It goes on top. So let's see. I'm going to place this guy first. I'm going to put a little glue here and a little glue here to hold this other guy down. And put that guy there. And this guy like here. Yes, you are covering a little bit of the other one, but that's okay. Okay, I'm just gonna hold that down. And you can build this up on your card if you would like, but I'm doing it here. So then this guy, and then this guy, and then this big one holds that beautiful center. So we can put that guy there. And this guy like here. right? And then this guy, I was gonna say, did I glue it to my surface? No. Tie mat can go like right in here. And then we have those little guys that go on the very top, and so we're just gonna give that one a minute. But here we go. Now they're supposed to go on the very, very top, and I'm thinking I'm going to bring it to my project because they only have this little area to hold on to. And I don't know, that's going to work for me. So let's bring this over here. Oh, that's so pretty. I feel like it's going to have to be kind of up like that. So I'll get some glue on the back of all of these pieces. You can definitely put dimensionals if you want them, you know, taller and or higher, lower, all that kind of stuff. And I think that looks good right there. Hold on, maybe a little more straight. Now I'm going to put glue here. I mean, you can put it on your little bits, but I'd rather put some here, and these guys would just be like right in here. So you can put it overlapping that green area just a little bit, but I'm kind of nesting them inside of it. Okay, I'm gonna hold everything down and I'll be right back. Look at all that. Wow. Okay, so we have that looking really pretty, and then, I mean, I just ran these through a different color, but I mean, you can use the same color as your stem or however. And so we have all these pretty leaves that we can just kind of come in and settle down there. Oh, that looks pretty. Right, there's just a lot of greenery here. I might have those switched, hold on. Okay, let me stick down these guys. And you could have done that first so it'd go behind the flower. If you're familiar with gladiolus, they have a lot going on. So anyway, this one's going on top of the leaf, but if, or the petal. But if that bothers you, you could have put these things first and then come in with these other guys. Whatever you like. Let's see. Let's see here. Let's say I didn't actually put glue back there, so if I want to, I can squeeze this guy in back here. And we can leave it a little bit up like that. Of course, if you put it in an envelope, it's going to get smashed, but you can give a little more dimension there. This guy is what I was curious about. Yeah, it goes this way. I'm just going to put these guys here. Okay, that one fell out of my hand, and I was like, I'm not going to try to spend time looking for that, so I just got another one. Okay. All right, so we have all these different sentiments and things we can use. I mean, it looks pretty just like that if you just want to make a beautiful card. But let me look through and see what it is I want to put on this for a sentiment. Okay, guys, I think what I'm going to do is probably just do happy birthday. You know, I put so many things on here. I don't know that, you know, birthday wishes or warm birthday wishes, these kinds of things is going to fit super well. So I'm just going to cut these guys out, just run that through and then cut them out. And not use like the cute word that goes along with it. So, it's kind of a big boy, so I'm going to not just stamp it. I'm going to use a press. I have this scrap of paper here, and I'm just going to cut them out of white paper. And again, these are, I'm going to put it like here, just to give myself some space. Photopolymer stamps, I haven't used them before. They're still very sticky because it has that dispersion layer. So if you want to wipe that off with some alcohol ink or alcohol ink with some alcohol, just use it a few times before you stamp it on your project, or just do what I do, which is I usually just rub, give it a good scrub. Trying to break down that dispersion layer, but it can get kind of juicy, so just be aware of that. So you might want to stamp it off a few times before you go to just do your project stamping. And let's see if I touched all the areas. That looks really good. So there we go. I'm wanting happy birthday, just that simple one that's there. So then we take our die. Oh, cool. Warm and anniversary are over here on this other side. Okay, so you can see pretty well what you're doing. So I'm just going to try and make sure that it's nice and straight, leaving myself a good amount, you know, left and right, so everything's centered. That looks pretty good. Of course, we always want to put some tape. Better tape than I'm using here, these old scraps. I'm going to run that through, and we'll have all those sentiments all at once. Okay, guys, so let's see what we got. Yep, everything is actually holding on, which is interesting. There you go. I just need the happy birthday, but there we go. I just used some really heavyweight cardstock. And so you have all these guys, again, that would pair up with everything you have there. But I'm just going to do this happy birthday. And really, for me, it's more because of the time it took to put that beautiful gladiola together. Gladiolus? What is it by itself? Anyway, I don't really want to cover up more of it by using like sending or the wishes word. So, that's just me. Oh, look at that. And we just put that simply right there. I think that looks really cute. Ooh, I don't know if you heard that scratching sound. It was my palm tree right outside my window. It must have been a little breeze came through. Let me make sure that's straight. I feel like it's not. Yeah. So the paper has a grid line, and that really calls you out if you didn't do it straight, you know. So a little scary. But I'm going to commit, and that's fine. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching. Hopefully, you know, little idea, just a gatefold card that looks really lovely. Looks like it's matte layered, and then obviously it's gatefold. So thanks for watching. Hopefully I gave you some idea on how to put that guy together. I will definitely follow up with the wildflower, layered wildflowers, super cute. And, you know, using the better press plate and some of the other items. So I'll have images coming up. I'll have the links in the description box, and I will see you all at the next one. Bye now.